What it do, what the business is, man. It's your boy That Way with Jack Travis. Well, I'm Jack Travis. The show is That Way with Jack Travis. Of course, you should know that by now. But we back again, man. End of the year is almost here. Hope your holidays went swell. Pop culture, they keep it coming, man. Today we're gonna discuss Mr. Umar Johnson. You know, Umar good for a hot take, a cold take, however you want to look at it out here in these streets. Most of the time it's just wrapped around black and white sexual relations. But you know, bruh, be on one. Umar stay with a lot to say. Here recently, man, he was on the Joe Budden podcast. Shout out to Joe and all them boys. And he went into a tangent about what Vanessa Bryant is doing with Kobe's money. Now, there's a lot of different ways to go about addressing this, but we'll just let the video start playing, and you know, I'll jump in and let you know what I think as we go. The video is only like a minute 16 seconds, so it's a lot to break down in it, but here we go.
Let me ask you Kobe Bryant. Let me ask you a question. Kobe Bryant. I ask you a question. Kobe Bryant died. Vanessa inherited his wealth. Sure. And guess what? Is Vanessa Bryant using any of that black man's money to do any good in the black community? Let me ask you.
Now, out the gate, I got to stop. He says, is she? Now, that would imply that either he or anybody on that stage is privy to the information as to what she's doing with the millions of dollars that, you know, were still around after Kobe's untimely demise, man. But that's, you know, he starts out talking crazy. So, you know, we 14 seconds into this thing. Here we go again. Let's go.
Absolutely fucking not. We don't know. Listen,
I don't know.
I'm telling you.
How you know? Let me ask you a question.
She's a public. Can I ask you?
Now, Joe and all of them made a great point. The same point that I just made. Joe said, we don't know that. You don't know that, Umar. And, you know, of course, he doesn't have an answer for that. There's going to be some kind of generalization about, I mean, but, you know, we get this argument a lot, man. But before I get into it, let me let the man keep going.
Question? You don't know. You didn't see that initiative. I do know. And I'm telling you now. Let me ask you a question. Vanessa Bryant just started an initiative with 3 predominantly white colleges, some sort of a sports initiative with Kobe's money and Kobe's name. Didn't choose a single HBCU. Let me ask you a question.
All right, so let's break that down. All right, in terms of HBCUs and college money and Vanessa Bryant starting this sports initiative with 3 predominantly white colleges, as Umar put it. I don't know the details of this particular deal, but I will say, if you're implying that, let's remove a lot of the other arguments. Let's just take Kobe Bryant and his ascension to the NBA. Well, Kobe didn't go to anyone's college, much less an HBCU. He went from high school over in Italy and over here to, I forget the name of the high school program he was a part of over here in the States, but he skipped college. He foregoed all of his years and he went straight to the NBA. So in that aspect, he doesn't owe anything to a HBCU. He's not beholden to a HBCU. He didn't go to Jackson State like a Deion or, you know, a Mississippi Valley State like a Jerry Rice or what have you. I hadn't heard, and I'm pretty sure those guys probably gave back to their schools, but I doubt if Umar is going around seeing what actual black people did with the money for the community. Because if we just taking what we hear on the internet, apparently Umar's been building 1-2 schools for about 20 years now. I don't know that any of them have righteously been erected. Now, let me say, I came across Mr. Umar on a series of documentaries entitled Hidden Colors years ago. I thought they were some of the most fabulous pieces of material I've ever seen. You know, usually you see videos about ancient knowledge and things like that on YouTube or what have you, and immediately you got people out there debunking it, you know, coming with other information. And I noticed under those videos, man, you didn't have a lot of rebuttal. They were some really thorough documentaries. So I took Umar as a very, you know, intelligent, very serious-minded guy. His views on interracial relationships, you know, I think it's kind of case-by-case basis when you ask me how I feel about it. So I don't judge him for his statements and his stances. But, you know, I had a pretty good outlook on him. And not that I'm just looking at him bad because of this, but this is one of his many hot takes, cold takes. as you want to put it. You dig what I'm saying? So it's it's a lot of parameters into making the type of statement you made. But again, Kobe Bryant nor his family are beholden to any college, HBCU or otherwise. Um, so it's a bad point to make, man. Especially when you aren't fully researched on the topic. He said the reason he knows that she hadn't given any money to HBCUs is because she got an initiative with these 3 schools. He didn't say that he went and scoured the books and the records to see what actually happened with other money or with the Kobe shoes or what have you. But again, talking loud and going on.
With a black man's money. Marvelous Marvin Hagler, he died from taking a COVID shot. Is his white widow using any of Marvelous Marvin Hagler's fortune to help black folks?
You're being unfair.
I'm being unfair how?
Let me tell you why.
Expecting white women to use black money to help.
So Umar says Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Now, I don't know that that's fact, that he died from a COVID shot. But even if that were true, what the fuck does that have to do with his white wife and his money? I mean, is COVID like, a sickle cell or some shit that like only black people get? And since he died from that, then she should give money? Like, what is he talking about? So, okay. By that, you know what? I won't even go into that part. I'll wait to the end of the video. Let's let him keep telling you. We got about 20 more seconds, man.
I'm being unfair how?
Let me tell you why.
Expecting white women to use black money to help black people?
No.
How is that unfair?
Because the same way you naming these people, we can name mad black wives that got black money from their husbands that did shit to help black people. Stop. It's my goal. No, it's not. We own.
And you know what the difference is?
You're wrong.
You know what the difference is?
You're wrong. You're wrong.
If I marry a white woman, when I die, my wealth goes to the very people who have robbed everything from my community. It's not true.
Okay. How does he... Okay, so his ending statement, which leads into just like my whole point about that. His ending statement was, if I marry a white woman, I'm black, so we can use me in the example of Umar. So if I marry a white lady and I pass away, apparently Umar is convinced that my white wife will then revert from, she married a black man and been married to a black man a lot of years. So that would show some type of love for black people. I would assume you can take that much from that. But this same woman is immediately when you die, she's going to revert back to her whiteness and solidarity with her white people and just give all of your money and all of your funds back to white people and just not fuck with no more black people. The only black person in her life that she fucks with is her husband. Like, come on, man. Like, you don't know that, first of all. I don't think anything he goes into in this little rant he knows for sure, but he's just talking like he does a lot. But by that logic, okay, so if a black woman, let's take Eve, right? Let's take Eve. Eve is married to, not the Reddit guy. That's Serena. But anyway, Eve is married to a billionaire. He's a white guy. I don't know if he's from America, he's foreign or what. But at the end of the day, he's a white guy. He's not black, right? By that logic, if he were to meet some type of untimely demise, and all of his money is transferred over to Eve, his wife, then what, Umar? Is she obligated because she's a black woman to give his money to the community? Or since it was his money and he's a white man, is she supposed to give that money back to, the sources in which it came? If you were to say, well, she a black woman, she got to uplift the community. Well, she didn't get her money through a black man. That's not the black community's money. By your logic, that's the white people's money. But I'm sure you would look at her and be like, why did she give back to the community? Well, by your logic, she's not supposed to. I don't know that your logic is sound on any level, but if we're just going by what you just said, it wouldn't make sense for you to say that she would have to give that money to the black community. So since Kobe Bryant was black and his wife was, not black, when he passes, she's supposed to do so much for the black community. Well, that's to say, and I ain't putting no bad word on Kobe, but that's to say that Kobe had left a legacy of giving back to the black community. And I don't think that that's the case. He gave back to the athlete community. So, I think the argument is just, it's clickbaity. Umar makes a lot of sound bites out here, man. But that's, it's a poor argument. And it's sort of like that. I don't know. I hate to compare it to reparations because I'm not someone that's a fan of that. I don't need no goddamn reparations. Just get the fuck out the way, if anything. I don't need you to carve a path out for me. I just need you to get the fuck out the way of my path. So, it's like, man, quit looking for people to come back and get you, because I don't know that that's ever going to happen, man. It's just really not the way we operate. And it would clean up a lot of things. It would be highly beneficial to the culture, creating generational wealth. But it's happening. It may not be in mass, like, our counterparts on the other side of the color spectrum, but I don't like that mentality of you owe us something, give us something back. Again, just get out of the way. That's where I stand on it. But yeah, man, that was That Way with Jack Travis. We jumped in here to holler on, have a little conference about old Umar. I was about to call him, man, Omar. What, Omar Epps or something? But anyways, That Way with Jack Travis, man. Holla at your boy. Wow.